So yesterday when I was driving home from work, it was raining, and I was on my way home, just a few minutes away, and I was coming to my exit off the interstate, and just as the exit is beginning, all of a sudden, in the midst of the rain, this car just comes flying by me. It swerves right in front of me. I had to slam on the brakes just to keep from smashing into the back of the car. And, of course, I was a little upset. But I kept my temper under control. And, of course, we both get off at the same exit. And there he is, stopped at the stoplight right in front of me. Driving so crazy, and look how far it got him. And then, as I'm stopped at the red light, I'm right behind him, I noticed something that I've been noticing more, and maybe you've seen it before, but the guy who just cut me off, who almost caused a multiple car pileup if I had hit him, all to end up at the same place, I noticed his car. Can you guess what it looked like? It's all banged up. Back windows gone out, bumper falling off, duct tape holding things up. This was not his first time. You ever notice that? I've been noticing it more and more. It seems like the people who drive crazy and recklessly, their car shows that they've done it before. Interesting. You know, sometimes you wonder, why would you keep driving this thing around like that? Duct tape holding the rear side mirror up and bumper gone, tire wheel exposed, piece of plastic where there should be a window. Now, of course, part of it could be poverty, and it's expensive to fix up your car. But I can't help but wonder if there's another motivation behind it. Why fix my car when I'm just going to get into another accident? I remember when I was a kid thinking, why do I have to make my bed? I'm just going to mess it up again. Why get a new car? Why fix my car? Why take care of it? You know, it's interesting because it's true. I mean, why fix the car if you're just going to get into another accident? If it's just going to get banged up again, why spend all that money? You see, at the heart of it, it's not the car that needs fixing. It's the way you drive. Am I wrong? Today in the gospel, we have this scene in which Jesus is going throughout the town, and we get the impression that, this is not a Jewish area because they have pigs. And so the customs and the morality, things are different here. And as Jesus is walking through the town, he is greeted by men possessed by demons. And they have terrorized the road here. And they're yelling at Jesus, "What have you to do with us? Go away." But if you're to drive us out into these swine, these animals that were seen as dirty, unclean. And so the Lord does. And then the swine go running off and drown into the ocean. Always feel bad for the swine. But those weren't the only people there. There were townsfolk there that saw this, and they run back and they tell everybody what has just happened. And what do? They go up to Jesus and they say, "Please leave us alone. Go away. We don't want you here." Now, these people had been terrorized by these demoniacs. The road was seen as unsafe to travel. You would think they would be ecstatic and joyous. They just got a brand new car. But you see, Jesus brings a whole lot more than that. He also is calling people to a new way of life. And oftentimes people do not want to change their life. No matter how miserable they might find themselves, no matter how many accidents they find themselves in, and no matter how miserable their car looks, they don't want to learn to drive. They've grown complacent, comfortable even in their own mess. And Jesus does come to heal. He does come to fix and repair, but he also comes with a challenge to live a new kind of life. And so before you follow him, before you ask for that healing, you better ask yourself, am I willing to learn this new way of life? Am I willing to put aside my old ways of doing things and to learn to become a new creation? Before we follow him, we must count the cost and ask, is it worth it? You know, so many times in my life, I have had this situation where there was something that I was struggling with and trying to get rid of until I finally realized that, you know what? I have a divided heart. I know I've spoken to you about this before. I wouldn't keep returning to this if it didn't offer something to me, right? People wouldn't keep gambling if they didn't enjoy gambling. People wouldn't keep putting things off and being lazy if they didn't in some way enjoy being lazy. It offers something to you. And so on the one hand, you want to be healed of the misery that the thing is causing you, but you also aren't really ready to give it up just yet. We have to count the cost. But here is the beautiful thing about our faith, is that we don't do it on our own. That we have a Holy Spirit that promises to not only just help us or to show us the way, but to dwell within us, to transform us. And that transformation includes our desires, our feelings, our heart, our ambitions. And so if we find ourselves feeling on the one hand, I want to follow the Lord, and on the other hand, I don't, we can always turn to him and say, Lord, give me a greater desire. Lord, strengthen my desire for you. Lord, there's a part of me that still wants to follow the old way of the world. Lord, turn my heart against it. Lord, help me see and truly understand how it is hurting me and the world around me. Lord, I am confused, but you are the light and the truth. So, Lord, illuminate my heart. Give me the wisdom that I do not have. Lord, in this moment, I choose you once more. I die once more so that you may live within me. Lord, teach me to live. Teach me to drive. And Lord, give me healing. So sisters and brothers, as we come to this altar once again, we continue that life of transformation. That we are pilgrims on a journey being formed into those beautiful images of God. To one day we will shine like stars, as sisters and brothers. As John says, what we will later be has not yet been revealed, but we know that we shall be like him. Let us become more like him.